Brought to you by the new Faro's Lounge Kickstarter. We got some new recon as I do the best. Whenever I do a best ball lineup, when you get some new recon on quarterbacks, you got to make another lineup for the Millie. It's $5 a ticket. The problem is you're up against 832,000 other assholes that want that $1 million the same way as you. So we try to find some recon, make some lineups, and hopefully win that $1 million and live a life of luxury and grace. All right, you know how we do it. We like all the new recon. We use the DraftKings recon because it's a DraftKings tournament with DraftKings money. You try to look for secret clues in the messages in the recon because no other way of picking lineups seems to other fucking work. And I don't like computers picking my lineups. What's the fucking point? Because you're always thinking you know more than the computer, and the computer doesn't win. If it wins, fuck you. All right. We see we got some new recon on Jaden Daniels, Jared Goff. Anything interesting? What else we got? Daniel Jones, Bryce Young. All right, we got some quarterbacks here to pick from. If we like more than one, we'll make more than one lineup. Meanwhile, nothing new on Josh Allen. So let's start eliminating the ones where we've got no new recon. Nothing new on Josh Allen. Nothing new on Burrow. Lamar. Nothing new on Jalen. Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels, per wide receiver Jalen Lane, has been elite in training camp. The wideout clearly has reason to throw praise at his quarterback, but at the same time, it's better than the alternative. The situation has changed for Daniels, with Stephon Diggs now in the mix and Laramie Tunsil facing extended absence. But Daniels now has another intriguing target to work with, and since the start of training camp has not had any issues with the elbow injury that cut short his 2025 campaign. Well. All right, that's our lead. Nothing new on Caleb. Nothing new on Herbert. What do we got on Jared Goff? Can we knock Jaden Daniels off the pedestal here? Jaden Daniels is elite. Head coach Dan Campbell told reporters Sunday that Goff and other key starters will not play in Thursday's preseason opener against the Bengals. Although Goff won't see action Thursday, he could see some action in the Lions' second exhibition game against the Commanders on Saturday. With Teddy Bridgewater stepping away from the team, Luke Atmeyer is the only other quarterback on the 90-man roster. So the Lions will work out some veteran quarterbacks to compete for the backup job behind Goff. There was nothing there except that he's not playing, so fuck off. Still Jaden Daniels' job because, again, elite. And they just gave him a new target. Baker, where he did Baker, nothing new on Baker. Nothing new on Trevor. Jordan Love. Nothing new on Jordan Love. Kyler Shook. We already read that recon on Kyler Murray. We even took Kyler Murray as a nice contrarian pick in many of our lineups. Daniel Jones. What do we got? Unlikely to play in Thursday's preseason opener against the Patriots. Boyd adds that Jones will only participate in Tuesday's joint session against New England, and the veteran quarterback may not play any preseason games while in the final stages of his recovery from a torn ACL tendon he suffered in December. Riley Leonard and Anthony Richardson will be the Colts quarterbacks for Thursday's exhibition contest, the first opportunity for the duo to compete for the backup role behind Jones. This is garbage. Nothing. Like fucking the most boring fucking news when it's about an injury. You cunts. This is new. For me, at least. Malik Willis has played well at training camp, earning praise from coach. No, we read this. Jeff Hafley determining his fantasy value. Yeah, it's garbage. Aaron Rodgers. Nothing new on Aaron. CJ Stroud. Nothing new. Bryce Young. What do we got? Head coach Dave Canales told reporters Sunday that Young and the Panthers starters will play in Saturday's preseason opener against the Bills. Canales added that starters will get about 10 to 20 reps in Buffalo. Young, the number 1 overall pick in the 2023 draft, is coming off the best year of his 3-year career. Before 17 regular season games in 2025, he completed 63% of his passes for 3,000 yards, 23 touchdowns, 11 interceptions. while adding 216 yards and 2 scores on 54 carries. The fifth-year option on Young's rookie contract was picked up for the 2027 campaign, and it looks like any contract negotiations between the 25-year-old quarterback and the Panthers won't take place until after the 2026 campaign. So they ain't paying him. They want to see how he does, which again could be that whole contract year. He can go wild. So now we got Jaden Daniels up against the Eagles, who's elite with a brand new target. Well, we got Bryce Young's playing in a contract year. Nothing new on Cam Ward. Nothing new on Jacoby Brisket. Everybody's talking about Carson Beck is now going to be the new starter. Let the quarterback controversy begin, even though he played against the fucking backups. Kirk Cousins. The Raiders returned to their usual quarterback rotation during Monday's practice, with Cousins working with the first team and Fernando Mendoza with the second team. Cousins didn't participate in the team period of Saturday's session due to his scuffle with teammate Max Crosby during Friday's practice. Following an off-day Sunday, things appear to be back to normal at practice with the team's top signal callers as the regular season approaches. Cousins continues to trend towards drawing the start over Mendoza in Week 1. So just he got into a fight, and now he's back at practice, nothing special. You got to give me something to use here. And then we got Tua. Mr. Tua with the Q tag. Tua with the Q tag. Coach Kevin Stefanski said Monday that the Falcons don't have a timeline to name a starting quarterback for the team's Week 1 game at Pittsburgh. Good. Go fuck yourself then, both of you. Fuck yous both. I'm not reading either one of yous. Fuck yous both. We don't want to name a starter. You can do the same thing here with Cleveland, right? Todd Monken noted Monday he hasn't decided whether Watson or Shedeur Sanders. Fuck yous both. Ay, with you motherfucking quarterback fucking carousels here. Which leaves us Geno Smith. Nothing new on Geno. We have two choices, ladies and gentlemen. Bryce Young or Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels coming off an injury. Again, new weapons. Has been elite in training camp. The wideout clearly has reason to throw praise at his quarterback, but at the same time, it's better than the alternative. The situation has changed for Daniels with Stephon Diggs now in the mix, and Laramie Tunsil facing an extended absence. But Daniels now has another intriguing target to work with, and since the start of training camp has not had any issues with the elbow injury. Elite. We've seen the word elite before. Head coach Dave Canales told reporters Young and the Panthers will play. Okay, we know that. The starters will get 10 to 20 reps in Buffalo. Young, coming off the best year of his 3-year career. 63% of the passes, 24 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, 216 yards. The fifth-year option on Young's rookie contract was picked up for the 2027 campaign. And it looks like any contract negotiation, it's just an ordinary story. Coming off the best year of his 3-year career. Jaden Daniels is coming back from an injury. Carolina is at home going up against Chicago. Opponent ranked 28th. That's a green. Jaden Daniels going up against Philly. And he just lost his tackle. As another intriguing target starter has been elite in training camp. Versus coming off the best year of his career. Going up against Chicago. You got to take Bryce fucking Young here. You got to take Bryce Young. Or do you want to throw another 5 in and just go after fucking Jaden Daniels too? I like to decide. See, I don't like being up in the air because then that affects everything. Daniels or Young? Part of me saying Jaden Daniels seems like the more contrarian pick. Young is much cheaper. Just sounds like the better pick is Bryce Young here. It's his receivers telling him he's elite. The receiver's saying he's elite. So elite it is. Let's go. Yeah, the running back's back. All right. Bryce Young, ladies and gentlemen. Bryce motherfucking Young. And just to be safe, of course, we got to put the defense in. We got to put the defense in so we have that spot already taken up. Really came down to it. I mean, I like Jaden Daniels, but I mean, just Bryce Young's the better card. Coming off the best year of his career. All right, defense. Let's just get the Cardinals in there. Back to running back. All right. Gibbs, we read already. Old news. Bijan, old news. Jonathan Taylor, old news. We'll look for some intriguing shit here. No new news on James Cook. Chase Brown will always like. If we don't find any new good news, we'll go back to the guys we like. Devin Ashane, we don't force positions. Devin Ashane, nothing new. Saquon, nothing new. Omarion Hampton, we already read that stuff. Derrick Henry. Ashton Gianti. Jeremiah Love. Did we read this already? I'm pretty sure we read all this. Won't play in the Hall of Fame game yet. It's all old fucking news. Josh Jacobs. Give me something new, Josh. Isn't practicing Friday. It's the second straight day that Jacobs is being held out of practice due to a groin injury. We read this. Marshawn Lloyd, we read this shit already. Get the fuck out. Brees the Brees Hole. Brees the Meese. Nothing new on DeAndre Swift. Nothing new on Montgomery. Travis Etienne. Anything new here? Taking most of the snaps. This is old fucking news. Layshaw Tootin. Bucky Irvin. Tony Pollard. We got Tidgy Spears here. All right, give me something on Spears. Give me Tidgy. Tidgy. Dealing with some soreness and irritation, which caused him to depart practice early. Fuck off. No indication Spears is dealing with anything serious, but he may be held out of practice until his current soreness subsides. The 25-year-old is expected to serve as Tennessee's number 2 this season, but he could be more of a 1B. The 1B to 1A. Fuck is both. All right, get out. Judkins. Nothing new on Judkins. Nothing new on Chuba. Give me something. Give me something to use here. Jordan fucking Mason. Mason has been pulling together a productive training camp with the Vikings. Mason is expected to operate in a timeshare with veteran Aaron Jones in the backfield for a second straight season. The running back has made an early statement at camp, showing added burst in his second year with O'Connor's offensive system. Jones was limited to 12 contests due to injury in 2025 and will turn 32 before the end of the upcoming season. So 27-year-old Mason could be asked to handle a larger split of the workload in year 2 in Minnesota. Has been putting together a productive training camp with the Vikings. Expected to operate in a timeshare. That's a big turnoff. I hear timeshare, I say fuck off. Jalen won't be ready again. He's the number guy on the depth chart, but he's still in a fucking timeshare. Now, Ja'Cory Krosky Merritt. What do we got? Made it a point over the offseason to improve his ability in the passing game. They want to see me do more. The more you can do, the better. Second-year running back has been given more opportunities to catch the ball in practice, digging into him a bunch to improve in that area of his game. Krosky's added 8 pounds of muscle this offseason and is expected to operate as the team's lead back on early downs ahead of newcomer Rashad White. If he can provide more in the passing game, it'd go a long way to raising Krosky Merritt's fantasy floor. They're still saying timeshare. So I didn't get what I wanted. So in a situation like this, we're going to take the top 2 motherfuckers off the board and see if we can go balls out. Gibbs and Robinson. How are their opponent ranks? Let's just take a look real quick before we do anything there. Yeah, 13th and 11th. Fuck it. Yeah, fuck yeah. Gibbs and Robinson. Let's see if we can actually afford to have them both. We go a little lower down on the receiver polls here. So let's do it. Bing, batting, body. We're trying to look for 3 number 1 receivers. Who's that girl? Na 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 na. Who's that girl? Yeah, everybody's here. Everybody's in. All right. Nothing new on Jamal Chase. Nothing new on Amon-Ra St. Brown. Nothing new on Jefferson. Nothing new on Nico. Olave, we've heard about the contract. I'm assuming that's about the contract, so I believe we've read this already. On the field for practice, yes. We need some new recon. Devontae Smith, what do we got? Isn't participating in Monday's practice. Smith and Mekhi Lemon will both remain sidelines for Monday's session, clearing the way for Dontavian Wicks and Hollywood Brown to see more reps with the first-team offense. Though Smith hasn't practiced in a week, the Eagles haven't expressed any concern about the wideout's availability for the start of the regular season. Let's see what else they're talking about here. Where's Mekhi Lemon? Before I get rid of the Eagles. Mekhi Lemon appears unlikely to start for the Eagles early in the season, while he's missed time in the spring and during training camp due to a lingering hamstring injury. That fucking sucks my asshole. Selected with the 20th overall pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Lemon was expected to be an immediate contributor for the Eagles following a dazzling final season at USC in which he took home the Fred Biletnikoff Award as the nation's top receiver. Unfortunately for the 5'11", 192-pound wideout, he's had few opportunities thus far with the Eagles to showcase his skills, as he's taken limited reps even on the days that the hamstring issue hasn't kept him off the practice field. Lemon still has time to get healthy and make a case for earning a sizable role week 1, but at this stage of camp, off-season pickup Dontavian Wicks may have the early edge on the opening of the season as the Eagles' number 2 wideout, the Devontae Smith. I'm hearing a lot of this guy Wicks, that name Wicks. Wicks has impressed Jalen Hurts with his route running ability and work ethic during training camp. He's got great work ethic. He's got great hunger. In the summertime, he was beating down the door trying to spend that time and just work. He's twitchy. He can attack the ball. He runs great routes. It'll be exciting to see him work this season with the aggression that he has. Wicks has been working as the default wide receiver 1 in recent days as Devontae Smith and Mekhi Lemon have both been sidelines. All right, we know the guy's in. Get him in there. Get rid of the rest of the Eagles. Boosh. Nothing new on Drake London. Zay Flowers. This man's been in every lineup I've made so far. What do you got, Zay? We going for another one? Head coach Jesse Minter said Saturday that Flowers is considered day-to-day due to a quad contusion that he sustained during training camp. Flowers was looked at by trainers after his left leg collided with Jalen Hawkins during 7-on-7s. Flowers didn't practice for the rest of the day, but the positive news is that he's avoided a serious injury and should be back at practice over the coming week. His absence will allow veteran Chris Moore and rookies Jacoby Lane and Elijah Surratt to work more with the first-team offense alongside Rashad Bateman and Devontae Walker. Jacoby Lane. Do. Anything? Nothing on Bateman. Let's not go hunting. We want once. We want number 1 receivers. Screw Baltimore. Emeka Egbuka. This new? Did we not read this yet? I was out of town. Participate in Thursday's practice. It's garbage. Get out. Ted McMillan. Now, we are using Bryce Young. Do we want to keep his number 1 receiver? Do you want to give this man his number 1? Is there anything on his number 1, his number 2? Where's Coker? Jalen Coker, anything? Nothing on Coker. Anything on Tet? Come on, Rookie of the Year, Tet. Participated in Thursday's training camp practice. McMillan was in and out of practice during the spring due to ankle soreness, but he's ready to roll for the start of training camp. Now that the pads are on, the season is inching closer. McMillan is expected to see more opportunities out of the slot this season after the Panthers used the 3rd-round pick on outside weapon Chris Brazil. McMillan added 8 or 9 pounds of muscle. Yeah, get his ass in. Get his ass in. And get rid of Carolina. Christian Watson. Nothing new on Watson. Lad McConkey. Nothing. Garrett Wilson. Not a goddamn thing. But we do know that Stephon Diggs is now in town, but they're not putting him in here yet. McLaurin will be joined by Diggs in the Commanders' receiving core. After the latter, we read this. We like Terry. Terry's a possible. But again, it feels like it's more leaning towards Diggs. Let's reread that. We like Daniels. After stringing together 5 consecutive 1,000-yard seasons, we read this. Fell back. Decent chance. 2 potential high-volume options. All right, he's intriguing. Let's keep him in there. Pierce is out. Downs is banged up. What do we got on Joshua Downs? Head coach Shane Steichen said that Downs could potentially be available for Thursday's joint practice with the Patriots. Downs was held out of Saturday's practice due to a groin injury. But the positive news is that he's considered day-to-day. Participating in Tuesday's joint practice would be a step in the right direction for the fourth-year wideout, though he may be held out of Thursday's preseason opener against New England. You give me these dumb things. Stop sending me this fucking garbage. I thought my stomach was done acting up. What are you going to do? Tet McMillan. Terry McLaurin. All right, ditch Indy. Nothing new in Buffalo. Hogga Washington. Off to a good start in training camp. We read this already. We liked it. We took him. Luther Burden is expected to sit out all 3 of Bears' preseason games, but the team believes the wideout will be available for the regular season opener against the Panthers. Burden sustained a groin injury during a one-on-one drill in Saturday's practice and will need about a month to make a full recovery. But the Bears are optimistic he'll be able to get enough on-field work prior to Week 1 to avoid missing any games that count. While the 2025 second-round pick is out for the rest of training camp in the preseason, the Bears have added reps available at receiver behind Romeo Dunze and Khalif Raymond. Xavier Thomas, Ja'Day Walker, Scotty Miller are all candidates to see extra opportunities in the next few weeks as they compete for roster spots as depth options in Chicago's wideout core. When healthy, Burden will have an opportunity to make a mark from a fantasy perspective in 2026, while operating as the key target for quarterback Caleb Williams in a Chicago passing attack that will also feature a Dunze and tight end Colston Loveland. It's a lot of fucking words for somebody that ain't playing. Look off. Get out. DK Metcalf. We got nothing on him, but what do we got on Pittman? Injured, of course. Wasn't spotted at Monday's practice. Pittman left Saturday's practice with some sort of right leg injury. Meanwhile, with DK Metcalf also not spotted at the session, possibly for a rest day, Brooke Pryor of ESPN relays that Gurmy Bernard is in line for added practice reps. Gurmy? Anything new on you, Gurmy? Nothing new on Gurmy. Get the fuck out, Pittsburgh. Carnell Tate. Ooh, what do we got on the kid? Stand out in team drills during Sunday's training camp practice. Tate's explosiveness stood out during red zone and plus 0 territory team drills in Sunday's practice. He beat out Alante Taylor and Cordell Flott for touchdowns and separate reps, with Tate demonstrating a strong connection with second-year quarterback Cam Ward. The number 4 overall pick in the 2026 draft, Tate looks ready to see plenty of offensive snaps in his rookie campaign, alongside veteran wideouts Wan'Dale Robinson and Calvin Ridley. Oh, you know we like Tate. Tate over McLaurin. Get out of here, McLaurin. He's the guy. Nothing new in Arizona. Concepcione. We read this, didn't we? Yes, we did. Shoulders feel the same. He fell on his fucking shoulder. Boston. What do we got on Denzel? Coach Todd Monken said Monday that Boston will start working with the first-team offense in practice this week. Specifically, Monken said Boston work as the boundary receiver on the outside, allowing Jerry Jeudy to move around the formation more. By all accounts, Boston has been a standout at Browns camp and has earned the increased reps with the starters. He's insertion with the ones is likely to hurt Cedric Tillman the most, as Tillman is a holdover from the previous coaching staff and has been mentioned in trade rumors this offseason. Boston appears to be a riser-up fantasy draft boards, headed into the preseason. Oh, interesting. Rising up the draft boards, but he's still in Cleveland. Jalen Naylor, we like Jalen Naylor a lot. But I'm thinking that Tate's the guy. Washington, we already read. We put them in the last lineups. What do we got here? An Elik Ayomayor. Elik! Practicing Friday. Oh, fuck off. Another injured word. Tate, you're my guy. Didn't need Vegas. Didn't need Miami. Anybody left? Tennessee. Cleveland, we already went through. On to the tight ends. Let's do this. We got money, baby. We got some money to save. Dun, dun. La douche, la douche, la douche, la douche, la douche, la douche, la douche. Oosh, oosh. All right, what we got in tight ends? All right. Nothing new on Bowers. Nothing new on McBride. Nothing new on Loveland. Nothing new on Warren. Nothing new on Pitts. Kincaid, that was the old news, but no more good news on Kincaid. What we got? Tucker Kraft. Tucker Kraft. Ran routes on air in full pads while catching passes from Jordan Love at Monday's practice. Most notably for Kraft, he wasn't wearing the sleeve he'd been wearing on his right knee from the first 2 weeks of training camp. He suffered an ACL tear in that knee week 9 of last season, and while he sat out Friday's family night practice, he was back on the field as of Monday, continues to increase his reps as week 1 matchup at Minnesota on Sunday, September 13th draws closer. It doesn't appear likely that Kraft will play during the preseason. The question remains whether or not he and the Packers will agree to a contract extension. So they want to see that he's healthy. All right, he's our guy right now. He's intriguing enough. No Laporta, no Fanon, no Goddard, no Ogongwo. Come on, boys, looking for some new recon. No Andrews. Kenyon Sadiq, the New York Jets rookie. What do we got? Sadiq is listed as Mason Taylor's backup at tight end on the Jets' first unofficial depth chart Monday. It's not at all surprising considering Sadiq has barely been able to practice with the team after undergoing hernia surgery in the offseason before experiencing a setback with his recovery in the early days of training camp. Sadiq and Taylor, while both listed as tight ends, essentially play different positions also, as Taylor is expected to operate as a block-first traditional tight end, while Sadiq plays detached from the line in more of a big slot role. So where is Mason Taylor? Taylor could see more opportunities this summer as teammate Kenyon Sadiq suffered a setback in his return from May surgery. Fantasy interest in Taylor took a cliff dive after the Jets drafted Sadiq in the first round this spring. While the rookie's presence is still a huge issue for Taylor's long-term outlook, it won't be all surprising if the 2025 second-round pick is a Week 1 starter with a workload of 40-plus snaps. If nothing else, Taylor retains some appeal as a dynasty bench stash and an endgame pick for best ball. Streaming value for redraft is also possible, especially if Sadiq isn't ready for Week 1 or otherwise doesn't have much of a role early in the season. Jets coach Aaron Glenn did say Tuesday that he still hopes for Sadiq to be ready by Week 1. Well, shit, this could be a nice little cheap steal here. We'll come back to that. I stay with the Jets right now. Nothing on Juwan Johnson. Nothing on Cade Otton. Nothing on Strange. Dulcich. Steal this job, Greg Dulcich. Full participant in Monday's practice. Dulcich has been a red non-contact jersey at practice last week, but appears to be past his hand issue. The 26-year-old is slated to handle tight end 1 duties for the Dolphins this season after he caught 26 passes for 335 yards and 1 touchdown over the final 9 games of the regular season. Catch-first athlete at the position. There's a world in which Dulcich places this offense in receiving in 2026 due to the lack of proven playmaking of the wide receiver playmakers at the wide receiver position. 1 second. Dulcich had been in a red non-contact jersey at practice last week, but appears to be past his issue. Good. The 26-year-old is slated to handle tight end 1 duties for the Dolphins this season. after he caught 26 passes for 335 yards and 1 touchdown over the final 9 games last season. A catch-first athlete at the position. What the fuck does that mean? Was it catch second? There's a world in which Dulcich paces this offense in receiving in 2026 due to the lack of proven playmaking at the wide receiver position. All right. It's weird, but it's in there. Gadsden. Nothing. Schultz. Another thing. Fryermuth. Hawkinson. Gregory Helm. Gunnar Hill. My name is Chuck. My name is Gunnar Nelson. Skizicki. Taylor. I think Taylor's the contrarian pick. They're all shitty picks. You know what the fuck's going on with Tyler Kraft for $4,500? I say go fucking Mason Taylor, man. They say Sadiq ain't gonna be ready, just like Mekhi Lemon ain't gonna be ready. This is about week 1. But something about that lack of proven playmakers. It's a new coach too. I mean, McDaniel wasn't big on going to the tight end. Catch first tight end. Came on late. He catches the goddamn ball. Is this the guy? Is it Dulcich or is it fucking Taylor? There's a world in which Dulcich paces this offense in receiving in 2026 due to the lack of proven playmaking. I mean, come on. That's just unique. You want unique. As opposed to this saying, well, Taylor's going to step up now because Sadiq is injured. But how the fuck do you know that? Which leaves us exactly $8,100 at the flex position. We can take Johnny Taylor and have all 3 bull running backs right here in the first fucking round. Fuck yeah. I say we go Johnny fucking Taylor. 3 bull running backs. Gibbs, Robinson, and fucking Taylor. Bryce Young, a quarterback. Ted McMillan, Dontavian Wicks, Cardinal fucking Tate. Greg Dulcich at the tight end, Cardinals D. Although we have $800 left to spend on D. Which we could by taking the Bears. No, because we got the Carolina Panthers. Vikings against the Packers. No. Bengals. Oh, God, no. But Dolphins against the Raiders. That could be some damage there. Especially we got Dulcich facing shit in a world. Let's do it. Look at that. That is $1 million lineup. That's as contrarian as it fucking gets, baby. 3 bull fucking running backs,